When did you realize you don't really have friends? For me, it was last month when I discovered my best friend, Sarah, had been secretly dating my ex-boyfriend Jake for 6 months. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow, but what made it worse was realizing how calculated and deliberate her deception had been. Sarah and I had been inseparable since college when we were randomly assigned as roommates. We'd weathered everything together: failed exams, family drama, career changes, and countless relationship ups and downs. When Jake and I broke up 2 years ago after dating for 3 years, she was immediately there with open arms and endless support. She showed up at my apartment within an hour of my tearful phone call, armed with Ben and Jerry's and tissues. For weeks after the breakup, she was my lifeline. She'd sit on my couch for hours, letting me dissect every moment of my relationship with Jake. "You're too good for him anyway," she'd say, stroking my hair while I cried. He never appreciated what he had. When I was struggling to resist checking his social media, she even helped me block him everywhere. "Trust me," she said, taking my phone and clicking the block buttons herself. "This is how you move on properly." What really cemented our friendship during that dark period was how consistently she'd check in about my emotional state regarding Jake. "Have you heard from him at all?" she'd ask every few weeks during our coffee dates. "I hope you're not still thinking about him or wanting him back." I'd always assure her that no, I hadn't heard from him, and yes, I was healing and moving forward. Her face would visibly relax, and she'd beam with pride. "I'm so proud of how strong you're being," she'd say. She was also strangely protective whenever Jake's name came up in our friend group. If someone mentioned seeing him around town, Sarah would immediately redirect the conversation. "Let's talk about something else," she'd say firmly. For her sake, you know, I was constantly touched by what I perceived as her fierce loyalty. Last month, I was grocery shopping at Whole Foods when I spotted them together in the produce section. My stomach dropped, but I tried to rationalize what I was seeing. Maybe they just bumped into each other randomly. Then I watched Jake casually wrap his arm around her waist and gently kiss her forehead while she picked out avocados. The gesture was so natural, so intimate, so clearly routine. Even worse, she was wearing his old college sweatshirt, the oversized gray one I used to steal constantly when we were dating. My hands shaking, I ducked behind the cereal aisle and called her. "Hey girl," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "What are you up to tonight? Want to grab dinner?" "Oh, just having a quiet night in," she replied smoothly, without hesitation. "Probably just going to order Thai food and binge Netflix. You know how boring my weekends are lately." I could literally see Jake putting oranges into their shared cart 15 feet away. That's when everything clicked. All those times she'd bring Jake up to gauge my feelings. How she always needed confirmation that I was completely over him before dropping the subject. She wasn't being protective. She was strategically making sure it was safe to continue dating him behind my back. The next morning, I decided to test her. "I've been thinking about Jake lately," I texted. "Do you think I should reach out for closure?" Her response arrived within minutes. "No, girl, absolutely not. You've come so far in your healing journey. He would just hurt you again. Promise me you won't contact him." I screenshotted our conversation and sent it to our mutual friend Lisa. Within hours, Lisa had shared the screenshots with our entire friend group. Sarah finally called that evening, panicked. "Please let me explain. It just happened naturally, and I didn't know how to tell you. For 6 months, I asked, my voice deadly calm, while you were actively telling me to stay away from him." The silence was deafening. Here's what hurts most. I genuinely would have been happy for them if she'd just been honest. Jake and I weren't meant to be, and I truly moved on. But she transformed my healing journey into her perfect cover story, using my trust as a shield for her deception. That was 3 weeks ago, and she's texted me every day since with increasingly desperate apologies. But I'm not ready to forgive someone who deliberately used my trust as their dating strategy while pretending to be my most supportive friend. Sometimes the trash takes itself out, but sometimes you have to help it find the door.